set up a work session to be able to review this?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think it's a lot of information and
discussion.
Yeah, and I personally would like to sort of dig into some of the numbers just because that's what I like to do, and and just look at some things, and I think there's just a lot to discuss, and you might want to have some staff here to answer questions about the scheduling in particular, because the way that they work now, there is quite a bit of overtime that is factored into that work schedule and is paid at time and a half. Some of that overtime is just because when I was hired, we had some vacancies that had not been filled, and those have all been taken care of now. So we had folks that were working overtime just because there weren't enough warm bodies to staff the department properly. So some of that overtime could have and should have been avoided. If you combine the departments, things change then, because the folks in the fire department work a very different schedule in terms of how their overtime is built in versus how we're doing things in EMS. And so in the fire department side, you're not in overtime until you go over 106 hours in a pay period or 53 hours a week. On the EMS side, once you're over 40 hours, you're in overtime. So if you pull the EMS under fire, then that overtime structure becomes the way the fire department is structured. You have to also look at, though, that's a huge revenue hit for the employees that you have, and so you have to be equitable in how you approach that. And that's what I mean about looking at the numbers and playing with it and maybe setting up some spreadsheets. Because all of that would change if they're pulled under fire.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get the numbers, and then we'll schedule a work session either before one of our meetings or some other time. So you just let us know when you get that information.
Right. And it would depend if you want to have a second meeting in this month. Otherwise, it would be at 5 o'clock on October 7th, the first Monday of October.
Well,
is when we would do it.
The sooner the better to get this for me.
Hold up. We can say sooner the better, but we've got a lot of things, and Karen got a lot of things on her plate, and we don't need to rush into anything until we clear some of the matters that we've got to clear off the plate.
Correct.
And if we do, we're going to be rushing things. So I think, Karen, you need to look at the situation, and then let us know, and we'll set it from that point. Okay?